Hey, this is Dan Beck, the Oracle in New Orleans, coming to you from my studio because I love doing outdoor videos and taking you along to all the sites surrounding where I live, like the Mississippi and the flowers and all that. But it's raining outside today and the guys are doing construction, thankfully, because New Orleans does need a lot of help with roads and drains. So I'm always happy when the guys are outside doing the work. So thank you to all of the people who do the construction work around here in New Orleans, because you're desperately needed. Anyways, what is going on today? It's Mars's day, Mardi. Mars is always where the action is. It's always, you want to look at a chart, you want to look at the heavens. Mars is always what is going to be going on. It's activity, it's action, it can even be aggression. So if it's aggression, what kind of aggression can be happening? Well, Mars is in the sign of Pisces, which is watery. It's flow of water. It's massive oceanic flow that permeates the collective of society, and that does play out in each of us individually, but it's how we're connected to massive forces of nature and water and spirit. Flow, currency. I talk about this from time to time. So Mars is going to want to draw you into those forces, and that's not necessarily a good thing to do, because Mars does best in signs where he can act kind of individually and very deeply and penetratingly. Don't know if that's a word, penetratingly, but things that Mars can really help you act in a very individualistic way. So Mars being in the sign of Pisces puts it in, it gets a little astrological, but it's the 12th sign of Aries, which is, it rules Aries. So again, it's these kind of oceanic themes. The 12th house or 12th sign is always those very oceanic, deep, collective themes that, to be quite frank, can get you in trouble and isolate you. So it's ironic, isn't it? Going and acting on things that are collective concerns actually gets you in trouble. Well, there's always a silver lining in astrology. Who can help? Well, Ceres can help. Why can Ceres help? Ceres is in the heavens conjunct with Mars. She's right next to Mars. Who are Ceres and Mars as far as they're related to each other? Well, Mars is actually the stepson of Ceres, and it's the equivalent of Demeter and Ares. So Ceres in astrology has a couple different meanings. Ceres deals with harvesting, grain, nurturance, bounty. But Ceres, if you recall in mythology, Demeter and Hades, when Ceres' daughter was abducted, she said, no, this cannot happen. I'm going to shut everything down. And, the equivalent, Demeter went to Zeus and said, this cannot happen. So Demeter or Ceres also indicates wild swings, and it means negotiating with things and sharing. So how do you put it all together? Well, this means you still are spiritually connected to all that is, to society, to larger, huge oceanic cycles that create life and the universe at large. But you really can't control those cycles. You can only ride those cycles. And the best way to ride them is through Ceres type energy. Ceres does have an association with the sign of Virgo, which is much more and you're kind of dealing with your daily stuff. But the irony is, when you deal with your daily routines, that's actually when you can begin to master the cycles of Pisces and spirituality and really act the way that Mars wants you to. So Ceres comes in and says, look, I know you're wanting to cast yourself off into these massive societal forces, but actually it is the internal struggle that you need to be dealing with, and that will actually give you more agency in the wider society at large, because you can't control wider society, but you can control your daily routines. So I'm actually going to put this video out, because this is on YouTube long term, because this is a good video for transits or natally Mars being conjunct Ceres. Sorry, let me just put this. So if it's in your natal chart, Mars conjunct Ceres, or if it's a transit Mars conjunct Ceres. So anyway, thank you so much for, sorry Ruth Ann, I know if you're watching the camera, I'm having a trouble holding it still. You can go to, you can leave a tip, make a wish. It is a good wishing day because it is a lot of Piscean energy, which is magic. So your donations keep all these videos going, and it, you know, can give you a chance to make a wish for yourself. You put it in a little tip jar and it's like a wishing well, the stars spring up, and you never know, your wish could come true. So those donations have been helping me so much to keep all of this content going, so thank you for that. Also, I'm open for readings, of course, 504-313-8706, or dan@innermakeup.net, or go to the innermakeup.net website to the contact tab and you can get your reading started. So thank you so much. I will see you all tomorrow.